Well, thank you, Joseph Stevens. And thank you for following Kronk Code, Sharkmouth, Chris Chaos, Japanese Letters, Francois, Listen Snip, Anthony. How you doing, Anthony Scott? Joseph Stevens. What's up? The important thing to remember, guys, I want to say, is there's not going to be a stream tomorrow. Okay? I want you to remember this. Alright? Please. Please remember this. No stream tomorrow. I'm taking tomorrow night off. Because of what's coming. Hey, what's up, Jaguar? How you doing? Let's warm up. Let's stretch our legs a little bit. Tomorrow night, no stream. I'm taking a rest, and then you're literally getting probably about 10 hours of streaming on Wednesday. You're gonna get 10 hours on Wednesday, probably 5 in the afternoon and 5 at night. And then maybe some more Thursday morning. So we'll see. Listen it. Listen it. Listen it. I will, but you guys are my most, the reason I'm telling you now is you guys are my most frequent flyers, and you guys are here right away. So I'm telling you guys first, because I'll make an announcement, but you're hearing it right from me immediately. So if you're hearing it from me immediately, you know that the people that are usually here the most frequently are going to know right away. That's why. The first timers, the on timers. Yeah, Screaming Mimi, she's gone. She's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Screaming Mimi, she will be missed. She will be missed, I'll tell you that much. She screamed and she was Mimi. And it's sad that she's not there anymore. Strat vet. Boom. Omni lives, Cat Card lives, fucking Simulacrum Simulator lived. A lot of shit fucking lived, man. Hey, what's up, Buggy Man? Buggy Man, 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 Buggy Man. Sultai Cosmogriff. That sounds fun. Oh, you like that, M-Dog? I posted that on Twitter earlier, but none of you follow me on Twitter because you don't like me. I'm assuming that's why. I'm assuming it's because you guys don't like me personally. What's up, Crunk Code? Yeah, Twitter's awful. Twitter's a terrible place. Let's see. Unfortunately, I basically have to use it for my job. But otherwise, I hate it. Hey, Croncode, I had a feeling that you had followed me before but left. I guess you unfollowed me. I guess you were like, man, fuck this guy. I don't fuck with him no more. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Blue scales. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Hey, I understand, man. With your ball lightnings? Oh, how was that? How'd that go, Anthony? Oh, it's going to happen. I'm just warming up right now. We're just doing our dailies, and then we're going to do avatar builds. Buggyman 35 reached a 35 stream streak. Not bad, man. Good job. I go first. Again, those who missed it, guys, I want to remind you, early access all day. Wednesday the 12th, okay? All day Wednesday the 12th. Be ready for that. Mars didn't like, apparently Mars didn't like Mimi. Apparently a lot of people didn't like Mimi. I thought Mimi was beloved as an anti-life gain strategy. Enters tapped. Enters lobby. Boom. Boom. Caught a video of Primus and Puddles the Clown doing a cover of Holy Diver. Nice. Sounds fun. Lyndon, the Steadfast Queen. Boom. Black Knights Orzhov. Oh, welcome up. Welcome, Day151. Oh yeah, River Churn. Yeah, the fucking mill decks that have no answer and other colors. Those are fine. Doesn't matter if we can't exec for those. That's okay if we can't interact with those. Black is too powerful as a color, so it needs to be, you know, black perpetually needs to be nerfed into the dirt. Otherwise, it's just generally too powerful as a color. Put one of them in my hand. I'll take that one. I'm dead anyways. Doesn't matter. Decline. Decline. Do. Not enough removal to deal with Mimi. Well, not enough burn removal. You had to pay the price, which was the point of Screaming Mimi. You had to pay a price to remove Screaming Mimi. You had to pay a hefty price. I don't understand that ban. I genuinely don't. That one doesn't make any sense to me. I know people didn't like it, but people didn't like Sheldred, and that one didn't go away. I don't feel like it was bending the format. I guess they said mono red is too powerful, but I don't know. I felt like that one was weird. That one kind of caught me out of nowhere. Especially, you're talking about situations, they're talking about, oh, well, there's a lot of unanswerable stuff. Yeah, there's unanswerable stuff everywhere, man. I don't know where are we getting this? When has that become the... When has that become the whatchamacallit? When has become the litmus test of what needs to be banned? It's unanswerable. There's no answer to fucking artifacts in black, you know? So what are we doing there? Does anyone know if streamers get more views if the viewer's on Turbo? We don't get more views, we just get money from it. That's all. You just get money from Turbo. Yeah, I don't understand that unanswerable thing. There's a lot of unanswerable problems. Reanimator, if you don't have fucking Graveyard Exile, what are you gonna do? You know, you're in a color that doesn't have Graveyard Exile. Reanimator is not answerable to fucking aggro. Red doesn't have Graveyard Exile. You'd have to stock a fucking artifact or something for that. So I don't really understand the argument that, well, it's unanswerable. You can't do anything about it. So, you know, you have to, we got to get rid of it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. That and a quarter get you a cup of coffee. Well, not anymore. A little bit more than a quarter now, but... Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Omni is not answerable for most colors, so what are we talking about? You know? It's a strange justification. It's a strange justification. Boom. probably gonna kill that. He'll kill that. I don't know why he didn't kill it before I hit him, but... Boom. Love that. Lazats. Wow. We're really getting fucked here, huh? We're really getting fucked here. Down to that. Boom. Bloodletter Lazats again. Wow! Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Lord mercy. No, I agree with you. Mimi got fucked. Mimi got the fucking shaft, man. Mimi got the absolute fucking shaft. Mimi absolutely got fucking... I don't understand that. I don't understand the justification, really. I don't know why they said that. It's unanswerable. In my opinion, it was an apex predator. It was keeping life gain in check. And I like life gain. It's not like I hate life gain decks. I like life gain, but you need to fucking something to hard counter them. If you don't have anything to deal with life gain, they're going to take over. So, I don't know. It's a bit odd. A bit odd. Profs people were starting to realize you could go real fucking crazy with profs, I think. People were starting to understand that was a fucking busted card. They were starting to get it. Okay, sure, why not? Boom. Boom. People were... I didn't see the main issue with... I didn't really see that big of an issue with, what's-his-face? With profs, but a lot of other people did. And I don't know, I'll trust them, I guess. A lot of people were like, oh, profs is such a fucking problem. It's a huge issue. I was like, okay, sure, man. You know, well, all right. Oh, my goodness. 2 raids simultaneously. 2 raids at the same time. Pay 0. What's up, Gold Knight? What's up, Gobbler? What's up, Trexodactyl? How are y'all doing tonight? He's probably gonna put down a Corpse of the Lost and beat the shit out of me. Gold Knight Prime. Flying Skeleton. Whoa! Look, we won. Yeah, that is the big... I mean, we're talking about symptoms and not solutions here. That's true. True, Yellow. How was your night, Goldie? And Trex. Receive my Bezos bucks. I gotta spend mine. I keep forgetting. I am looking forward to Avatar. I do think post-bans, with everything being what it is with Avatar... I think it is going to be a better environment. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where the hype is on Avatar. it's impossible to read the community nowadays, man. My preview video didn't do good, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. It could just be that YouTube fucked the preview video. It could be that nobody's interested. I don't know. It's hard to say. Boom. I had some rough runs in the rogue like I was playing, but he's Massive Brain, Channel Power, the super boss at the end. What were you running? Well, Spider-Man had a lot of unique problems that I don't think whatchamacallit is gonna have. Spider-Man had a lot of Monster Train. I've played that before. I don't know if I got very far in that, but I did play it before. It was bad and limited. It had unfun mechanics. It didn't have an underlying theme or story other than just spiders. There was a lot of problems with Spider-Man. There was a lot of fucking issues. So I don't know if it was. I don't want to say that it was just that we can chalk it all up to that, because there was, again, a lot of underlying issues in Spider-Man other than just it being Spider-Man. Yeah, exactly. That's, that's kind of the problem. It's kind of the problem. It didn't thematically make sense. It just was all over the fucking place. They say that because occasionally things are restricted, but I think it's more out of like, it's like an old-timey way of referring to it, as opposed to a real way of referring to. It's like I don't know the last time a card got restricted. It's been a while. See, this has no answer. I'm playing black and it has no answer. So, where's the answer for that? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I'm glad you're with me on that one. Yeah, it's fucking solitaire. It's terrible to play against. Yeah, where's the counterplay? I don't have a counterplay. I think it should be banned. Thank you for following Archangel Ace. Welcome to the show. Boom. Unstoppable slasher. So let's do this. Let's do that. Boom. Yeah, them not getting rid of Omni is an issue. Omni is a fucking problem. Omni and artifacts were my biggest issues. Oof. Get rid of you like that. we're jamming you up here, buddy. Slasher has counterplays. You know, I think the problem, they made Mimi invulnerable and you could never kill it. I think that was the biggest problem with Mimi, is they added that line of text that says also this card can never die and is immune to removal. So I think that was one of the bigger problems that they had an issue with. They did that, right? They put a line of text on Mimi that said this card just it's immune to removal and you can't kill it. I'm remembering that correctly. I think. Right? Yeah, Omni's dodged the banhammer so many times. By the way, nestled away, for all of you, morning greetings from Germany. Guten Abend. Guten Abend, mein Freund. Tucked away in the explanations, it does say we're keeping an eye on Omnicona. It does say that buried deep down. It says we are keeping an eye on Omnicona. If it starts to take over, maybe we'll do something. But that's fucking 6 months from now. Oh, guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Well, it's nighttime for me. Angel, I think that is a clear. I think you're right about that one, Angel. It should have not been RRR. It should have been RR1. I think that that's a reasonable compromise. That way you can't shove it into everything, and it's a little bit more tricky to play. I do think that is a reasonable ask of that card. Yeah, it should have been RR1, especially for such a red themed art. Well, it's the evening for me. But guten Morgen either way. We have a big gulf of likes here, guys, and I don't like that, man. 30 people watching on YouTube, 15 likes. What's that about? Did y'all forget your jobs? Y'all forget what this is? I think y'all forgot, man. Y'all don't remember. It's been so long since I've streamed that nobody really remembers what they're supposed to be doing. I get it. You know, I understand. Oh, look, a shame like rolled in. Look at that. Look at the shame like rolling in there. Beautiful. Oh, here they come. Here come the shame likes. Bro, you did not you looked at my thumbnail and did not read the room. I bet you did, Gold Knight. I bet you did. And pray tell, what does a foreskin miner do? Oh look, it's Rylex the Accursed. Enters tapped. Enters tapped, enters lobby. Mines. Okay. Alright. That's reasonable enough answer. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, okay. We'll take your feed to swarm. Fuck you. You can take my shit. What's up, Kitty Kate? All the cool Kates and kittens. Sephiroth. Shame likes. Goodbye, corpses. You don't exist at all. No more corpses. I'm not liking the new bans. I don't like them. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm a little salty about whatchamacallit. That's about it. I'm a little salty about what's that shit called? Screaming Mimi. I felt like Screaming Mimi, she died an unnecessary death. An unnecessary death, really. Boom. I am happy that Vivi is gone. But, you know. This guy's all over me. I can't do anything here. Oh, let me give you guys shout outs. Shout out. This is a very Nemesis safe space. But I understand why people are happy about it. Like, it did fuck up a lot of decks. Hey, what's up, Kalim? They banned Vivi, Screaming Nemesis, and Prof's Eidetic Memory. How you doing, Thyvon, King of Crabs? Steeler. Matt Paul, how you doing? Welcome. M-Dog, Joey Lee. I don't know if I said hi to you. Kitty Kate, all the cool Kates and kittens. I think Trex came in here, didn't he? Zippy D, how you doing? Yeah, listen, I love gain and drain's like one of my favorite things going. I get it. I love gain and drain. But you know, you need to have counterplays to certain stratagems. I feel very smart when I say stratagems. Trex raided and then never said anything. Or he maybe had to run to the bathroom. I don't know. Stratagems. No landfall went away. They said landfall, it's going to get worse before it gets better, guys. We're going to be real with you right now, guys. Landfall's going to get way fucking worse before it's going to get better. It's going to get worse. You're not going to like what happens with landfall. You're not going to like it. Not one bit. Goodbye, corpses. You don't exist at all. No more corpses. Yeah, if you have the shock combination, you've pretty much shut down life gain. You've pretty much just shut down life gain if you have the combo shock. Oh, look at that. Kona rescue Beastie. So true, bestie. Let's pay 2 life. Put Billion the Parched. Billion. The Parched. Billion the Parched. The cigarettes. Boom, boom, boom. This deck is doing horrible. It's not doing very good. Villainy. The orchestra blitzer. Dun, 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 dun. Hard hitting question. Boom. Look at that. Beautiful. Going in. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Alright, do it, Kona Rescue Beastie. Put down your Mindform Harmonizer. That's not that bad. Line of War Elves. Villainy. Goodbye, corpses. You don't exist at all. No more corpses. Let's go down as Mindform Harmonizer, maybe? None of these are very good options. Villainy. Kona, Flying Kona. Coming out as Mindform Harmonizer. Kill the headlights and put it in neutral. We're dead anyways, doesn't matter. Aaron Crook, how you doing, man? Down. Boom. There you go. Good game. We just steady losing here, boys. I thought this Demir would work, but apparently not. We got something else that we can run. Big elf ball. Let's run Stella Bravo. You get some green. Villainy. Let's put down Seasoned Warguard right there. Juicy Luis. That's how you pump this guy. You hit for 4 damage on turn 2. That's what you do. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. We're going to hawk to it right here. Probably catch a counterspell for our trouble, but hey, it is what it is. Boom. Plop. Plop. There you go. Okay. Clifftop Lookout. How about you, Clifftop Lookout, my Johnson? Probably gonna get board wipe, but hey, them's the breaks. Pop, 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 pop. Probably gonna get Wrath of God here. They love to do that shit. Oh no, they just lost. Doom, 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 doom. There you go, back on top. You freebase Miracle Whip. Trex Odactyl. Trex Odactyl. There you go. Goodbye, corpses. You don't exist at all. I went back and looked because I had an idea, and I only ever used Final Fantasy. I only ever used Vivi in one deck, and that was a Black Mage deck. I didn't even use him in the titular. I didn't even use him in a fucking. I knew people were gonna hate that. I was never gonna run that. I was never gonna do that to anybody. Boom, boom. All right, we're Seam Rip. Whatever comes out next here. Golgari, I mean, everything is viable if you put really good cards in it. It depends what you mean by Golgari. What kind of Golgari are you looking for, you know? There are decks that'll work, you know? There are 100% decks that will work. All right. He's holding steady here. He's just staring at me. It's always good. There you go. Good stuff right there. This is going to be Kentrum Rose. Kentrum Rose Exile. Kentrum Rose Exile. Here he comes. Oh, Strat Bet. Yeah. Valley Quest Caller. So we're going to say green. Pay 2 life. Boom. Pump. Soul Search, exile non-land card from it. Ouroboros, Beauregard Fungus. Enters tapped. Scry, Seam Rip, we already got one of them. Wobango. Soul Search. Put this down. Boom. Seam Rip again. I feel like we don't really need that, but what the hell. We're gonna push in. Push it some more. La 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 lum. La 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 dum dee dum dum dum. Girl, I'm gonna make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry, I'm gonna push it some more. Anybody remember that song? That was a 90s hit right there. A la 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 lum. Boom. Pop. Push in. No blockages in your heart. That's good. A la 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 lum dum dee dum dum dum. Hey, I told you Kentrum Rose was coming. I told you Kentrum Rose was coming. I said it, didn't I? He's gonna gain 4 life but lose 4 life. No, not worth it. Drew too much mana there. Drew too much mana there. That is no good. That would cover up. Very nice. We basically lost that due to flooding. Wow, I'm having some of the worst luck I've ever had. Good lord, man. Good golly, Miss Molly. I'm doing horrible right now, man. This deck has enormous amounts of wins, and it's very unusual that I do this badly. But we're just trying to get our dailies, man. Yeah, its lyrics are insane. Oh, girl. All right. Paw Patch. We want to start with Paw Patch. What do we want to do here? Yeah, I think we start with Paw Patch. I think we start there. Then we go to Phineas Gage. Wabango. Strat Bet. Get rid of Paw Patch on that one. Land, cool, so we can put down Valley Quest Caller, Shot Caller, Rock Caller, Shot Caller. Boom. Hawk to it. Push, pump, pop. There you go. A split up would be bad, but he can't cast that yet, so. Everybody excited about Avatar, by the way? Are we at least feeling it a little bit? Where's everybody at on Avatar? Cease, he's gonna draw a card. We're gonna hawk to it. Unwisely awoken, absolutely. Push, huge amounts of damage here from us. Boom, boom, boom. If we get hit by a wipe, we're gonna be in bad shape. But no, he didn't have one. He didn't have one, guys. Yeah, hey, what's up, Shuttles? Saw a decent catfish card. Hey, what's up, Gaz? I think it's going to be fun. We're going to do some Avatar builds soon as I'm done getting my daily. Chubbles, welcome to the show. Yes, it's pronounced Ong, isn't it? Ong. The Avatar Ong. It's pronounced Basingse, right? Basingse? That's... Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad you could come by, Chuddles. I am going to be on early access. Again, let me tell you for those who weren't here for it, I'm going to be on early access. Yes, it's on Arena. There's no Omen Path situation. It's really them. It's really here. Look, I even have a Momo pet. Look. Look at Momo. Look at him go. Look at him go. Basingse. No, I'm messing you. Basingse. Basingse? Basingse. Yeah, no, we're not having another Owen Path situation, as it were. Boom, 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 boom. It's Demir winner. Uh-oh. It's Mana Man. Hardest working man in MTG show business. Early access is Monday, everybody. I'm not Monday. Wednesday. Okay, all day Wednesday. I want you to understand this. I want you to take it into your brain. All day Wednesday is early access. All day Wednesday. They will be in Jumpstart and in larger formats, but they will not be in Standard. They'll be on Arena, but they won't be in Standard. So that's probably the only complicated thing to understand. That technically, yes, some of them are in Jumpstart, some of them are in Legacy formats, but you will not play any of the you will not play any of them in Standard. You will be playing them in other formats. We are not streaming tomorrow night because what's happening Wednesday, guys? I want to make this very clear. What is happening Wednesday? Does everybody know what's going on Wednesday? No. That's getting the Omen Paths treatment. You will never see a Marvel product on Arena. Not in 100 million years. Okay. Good. Helping hand. Boom. The Marvel stuff, I'm not even looking forward to Marvel superheroes, man. That's, first of all, what an inspired name. I wish they would have done a Crisis event. They couldn't have hired a comic book writer to do a Crisis event. Honestly, I think that was one of the problems with with Spider-Man is there was no story behind it. It was just like, here's a bunch of fucking cards. There you go. Like, I think if they made like a comics event, like they called it, you know, the Spider whatever, the Mysteries of Magic, you know, arc, and they built a whole event around how portals were opening up everywhere to different places in the universe, and how this was fucking everything up, and this, you know, crazy things were afoot. I feel like people would have a bigger investment. Otherwise, it was just like, look, Spider-Man, there he goes, swinging on a rope. There you go. There he is, headed out. Like, we couldn't have gotten a Marvel Comics storyline out of this. Like, nothing. There was no way to get any kind of like interesting. I don't know. There were so many things done wrong with that set. I don't know. Like, imagine if they had done, you know, like I just said, you know, the Portal Crisis for the Marvel superheroes coming up, and there was like a companion comic book that you could read, like 3 issues of how portals using magic, using Doctor Strange's, you know, magic, were going amok everywhere, and people were getting transported and things were going in and out. You know, blah 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 blah. Like, if they put like a reasoning behind it and built like a storyline off of it, it didn't have to be connected to the mainline story of magic, but just generally saying, oh, well, this is, you know, there's like crazy shit happening and blah blah blah. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a fool for thinking that, but I feel like if you had a coherent, you could add more characters, you could put more events in. You don't just have to do, I don't know. The Spider-Man was just like, look, there he is. There he goes, Spider-Man. It's just generic Spider-Man. Part of the reason I think Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, and frankly Avatar are doing so well, or are going to do well and have a lot of people's interest, is because there is an underlying story between those cards. There is something that you can actually look at and point to and go, oh, look, it's this happening, it's that happening. And you have a frame of reference for the cards. You know what I mean? Oh, look, Lord of the Rings. Here's when Frodo destroys the ring. Here's the Nazgul. Here's the Shire. You know, here's departing the Shire. Here is, you know, there's that event. Oh, look, the Ba Sing Se. Now there's the part where the drill attacks Ba Sing Se. There's like a storyline, you know. Yeah, Momo's in the game. Hey, what's up, Biogun? I feel like that in and of itself would have been interesting enough to tie something together. But you had these kind of heroes and villains going off, and like no real reason for them to be interacting. Why was Moreland in New York? What was he doing there? I don't know. He was there because Spider-Man's there. You know, so I don't know. I just feel like we had such a missed opportunity, man. They really could have done a good job with it. Maybe they couldn't. Listen, I'm not on the design team. I don't want to shit on them and say they did a bad job. They might have been restricted. Marvel might have said there's no way that you can, you know, even if they would have done Gold Knight, even if they said we're doing an Into the Spider-Verse, it's probably one of the best superhero movies of all time. We're literally doing Into the Spider-Verse storyline. You know, we're doing the 2 movies. And we're going to do events from those 2 movies and the characters from those 2 movies. We're literally doing Sony's Into the Spider-Verse. Probably a IP hellhole to crawl into, but just kind of even saying that we're going to do that, I think would have been better, because ultimately you are having a coherent storyline of what is going on, you know. You can spend wild cards on them, Anthony, but you also get them out of jumpstart packs. You also get them out of jumpstart packs. Nowhere to run, Phineas. He's hitting those removal cards. Sign of the Earth Spider, yeah. Seam rip, sure, we'll take that. Pop, pop, pop. There we go. Just hear those sleigh bells blinging. Yeah, it could have been called Scions of the Earth Spider, and it could be about how they're all connected to the Earth Spider and blah blah blah. I don't know. There could have been anything. There could have been so many different things going on. They're pre-banned because I think they're banned in paper, so they're pre-banned on Arena. You're not, even though they're coming into Arena, you can't use them in that format because they can't be used in that format anyways. I think that's the reason. I don't know if that is legitimately the reason or not. I have a feeling that is the reason being behind it. Marvel, Sony, Stanley, Spider-Man. Because they're not banned in other places. They're just banned in that format. They're pre-banned in that format. All right, we're only 3 away from getting my whatchamacallit here. We're only 3 away from getting my dailies off. Real fake cards. Remember when Wizards made real fake cards? They made real cards that were fake. You couldn't use them anywhere, but they were real and fake at the same time. That was a fun time. They did a bunch of reprints for 30th anniversary, and the cards were reprints that were not legal. That was great. That was really good. That was amazing. Exile a card from my opponent's hand. Exile card. Boom. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do Sheem Rip. There he goes into the boo-boo hole. Go pop, pop. Fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Skullcap Snail. Another one of them. Warren Warleader. I kind of want Warren Warleader more than Shell by Delt. Like, legitimately. Boom. Beauregard Mentor. Boom. Paw Patch. I'll take it. Boom. No. They did a bunch of reprints of old cards that were not standard, that were not legal anywhere. They were just for collecting purposes. They were just for looking at and admiring. They weren't actually for playing. We all know playing Magic's the worst part of Magic. I mean, I think that's understood, correct? Parting Gust. Boom. Boom. Push. Boom, boom. He could fucking board wipe me here. He could wipe me. But I think that's the only... Yeah, there it is. Let's do this. Do. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot to me, where they'll I'll get an event and it'll be like, here's this random card that you're never gonna play. I'll be like, thank you, friend. I'm gonna do that. Who's he gonna exile? He's gonna exile that. Boom. Boom. Valley my caller. Green. Enter Rose. Boom, boom. There you go. Uh-oh. What's he got in his hand? He's got something in his hand. He's got something in his hand, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a silly card in his hand because he's holding priority. He's holding priority real spicy like here. Ride's end. Pump. Pump. Boom. You're going for 3. Boom. There you go. Unglued had some ideas to craft. But Unglued's an interesting idea. Believe it or not, it actually helps wizards coordinate what they want to do with the sets. It has a function outside just being silly. They test stuff in Unglued. He might run another wipe here. Admiral Hayes, welcome. Admiral Hayes is in my mind. Excuse me while I kiss this guy. My turn. This fucking guy. Wait. Probably has a kill card for him. Sure he does, yeah. Got a kill card for him. Boom. Valley Quest Caller. We scoop there. Well, it's not called Unglued anymore. It was called Unbound, and then they just did the recent one that was the... They're just called Unsets. Unglued, Unhinged, Unstable, and an Unfinity. Those were the 3 of them that they did. All right, hey, look, we got our fucking dailies. Look at that. Fantastic. They're silver borders. Boogeyman, 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 boogeyman. Boogeyman, 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 bump, bump, bump. All right, let's do it, guys. I've heard there's no Warren Bussing say. This is what I've heard. Screaming Mimi band was a bit odd. Yeah, I'll admit that. I'll take that one. Was a little random. Wasn't really necessary, I don't think. Corrupted. Okay. All right, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, folks. We're going to do a little shakedown breakdown here of some of this new stuff, and I'm going to talk to you about my theory behind what we're doing here. Okay? How's that sound, folks? How's that sound? Sound good? All right, good. All right, here we go. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. And tonight we have a very special treat for you. Yes, we do. Because as you can see here, it is almost time for a new set, Avatar: The Last Airbender on Magic: The Gathering Arena. And this one, I think, guys, this one's going to be a real good one right here. We are not getting an Omen Pass situation. You are getting those Magic cards on Arena. You're getting all the cool Avatar stuff. And I wanted to go over a theory build of what I have with some of my favorite new cards, specifically Firebending, the new mechanic from the new set. How to use Firebending as an absolute crazy busted way of just blowing up, just going completely nuclear on someone right here with Fire Nation Attacks Rakdos. So we're going to look at this one. We're going to break it down right here. And I want to let you know, before we get started, I will be in early access thanks to Wizards of the Coast. That'll be Wednesday, the 12th, November 12th. I'll be in early access all day and all night. You'll be able to see all of these decks and cards played before anybody else, before even pre-release. And I'd love for you to join me. So before we get started, you know, it's a great way to remember to join me. Tenderly press that like button. Gently press that subscribe button. Because if you don't press that like and subscribe button, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to get attacked by the like and subscribe, which you may or may not know is a YouTube werewolf who will viciously maul you and attack you for not liking the video and subscribing to the channel today. Join us on our stream every night at twitch.tv/thatvillainj for all live streaming goodness. We would love to have you there live and in person on Twitch and on YouTube. Both of those places, you'll be able to see us when we go live. Check out our Discord community for all latest news, information, post your decks, post memes, ask questions. This deck is going to be posted up on Discord. You can submit your own decks for early access for Avatar: The Last Airbender. So if you have a deck that you want to see me run in early access, just go to Discord and submit it, and I'll run it for you. If you were excited to see any kind of card come out. Don't forget to hit that bell. You want to be notified when we go live on either Twitch or YouTube, so you want those notifications on. And of course, this deck and all the other ones that I build are going to be available down below on my AetherHub and on Moxfield. If you find me right here, you can find this copy of this Moxfield on the J Villain. That is my name. So, that all being said, what are we talking about with Fire Nation attacks? Well, let me tell you about firebending first, okay? Firebending is whenever this creature attacks, you add red mana equal to the firebending number. All right. So in the purpose of firebending student, it's X. So you add this creature's power. In purposes of Ozai, it's firebending 4. So whenever he attacks, you gain 4 red mana. Okay, which is pretty impressive. This mana only lasts until the end of combat. So you've got to do something with it right away. However, there are ways to hack the system here. You can keep that mana to cast it later for other reasons. All right? So there is a few ways that you can trick to keep that mana, but also just generate a lot of red mana to cast other spells and combo off on a bunch of different ways. So we're going to show you how to do that. One of the main ways that you can do this is from a card from, believe it or not, Through the Omen Pass, aka Spider-Man. This is called Bayo, Irritable Instructor. In the Spider-Man set, if you're playing in paper, this is called Electro Assaulting Battery. And it's 2 red and 1 human villain flying. I think this is going to be very important when we bring up the concept of firebending, because this has a very, very unique ability that you don't see a lot, this human villain. It's a 2/3 flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. So immediately we get to counteract one of firebending's biggest problems, is that we lose that mana when the phase ends. Okay, so anytime that we generate red mana, we get to keep it forever as long as Bayo is on the board. The fun thing about Bayo too is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, he adds red mana, and whenever Bayo leaves the battlefield, meaning that he is either destroyed or exiled, we can pay X. When we do, he deals X damage to target player. So he really punishes removal, especially if we've been generating a lot of mana as time goes on. If we've been building and building and building a huge amount of power by using firebending over and over again, we could have 13, 14, 15 red mana popping up right here. All we need to do is have Bayo die, and guess what? All of a sudden he explodes for 13, 15 points of damage, however red mana that we've saved up through firebending and through casting spells, however much mana we've saved up, he explodes for that much mana. So that is a really cool combination, number 1, to work off with firebending. That's cool combo 1. We're going to talk about more. You want sacrifice play for him? Let's go for a classic Rakdos card right here, Karl Sellsword. 1 black and 1. He enters the battlefield. We don't really want the Karl Sellsword version. He enters the battlefield with 1/1 counters on it for each creature that died under your control. Which, you know, is certainly a thing. However, what we really want him for, what he's really there for, is to be the burn together. Target creature you control deals damage to its power to any other target, then sacrifice it. That is a sorcery spell, and that is what we can use to throw Bayo at somebody. We can actually throw any large creature. We could even throw Ozai the Phoenix King at somebody and do a lot of damage with that firebending stuff right there as well. So we have the sacrifice play built in with Karl Sellsword, and we have the burn together, which is very appropriate when we're talking about firebending, burn together. I'm going to throw in 2 Emberheart Challengers for a little bit more haste and prowess power right there. Maybe keep them off balance. We're really not worried about doing too much on the ground damage, but it keeps people occupied, and it does let us draw cards off the top. This is 1 red and 1 2/2 haste prowess. Mouse Warrior, kind of classic. I think 2 of them are fine. I do like that we have the Valiant ability if we pump it. If we do something like Wild Ride on it, or we do something like Dreadmaw's Ire, we can just pump it and do that damage. And we get to look at the cards off the top. So he's not a bad addition. Let's talk about the cool new stuff, though. Firebending Student. This is the new hotness for prowess right here. No pun intended, or pun intended. Firebending Student, 1 red and 1 1/2 human monk. Very nice monk synergy right there with prowess. Whenever this creature, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1. So built into this creature right here is it generates its own mana to cast its own pump spells, because it has Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. So normally when you attack, you would get 1 Firebend to it. You would get Firebend 1 because it's 1 power. However, if we put her down turn 2, and then on turn 3 we attack with something like Wild Ride, she gets the Prowess trigger, which will be +1, and Wild Ride would be +3. We swing in, she has 5 Firebending right away, because her power is 5. So she will generate 5 red mana immediately. That's a huge amount of mana. And again, if you combine that with Bayo, that mana doesn't go anywhere. You just get to hold it forever. So with 5 mana built in, guess what you can do? You can just start casting other cards like crazy. You can start casting more Wild Rides, more Dreadmaw's Ire. You can just pump through the roof, because Firebending Student generates its own mana to cast its own pump-up spells, which is insanely powerful right there. So we're going to go with that Human Monk there to Firebend and to push aggro down range. Now, one of the biggest things that we want to do here is get Ozai the Fire King, the Phoenix King out, which is an insanely powerful Rakdos card. There's a few ways to do this, and there's a few ways to trigger him off. I'm going to talk about some other cards before I talk about him, because he's basically our win com. Sozin's Comet is an important one to do. Here are the airships. If you've watched Avatar, here are the airships burning the entire Fire Kingdom down, where the comet is burning across the side. 2 red and 3. This is a 5-drop sorcery. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5. This is a great win con when you combine it with Ozai and Bayo, or just Bayo by itself. Because whenever any creature attacks, you add 5. It lasts until the end of combat. However, you can do something really, really cool and foretell this. During your turn, you can pay 2 and exile this card face down from your hand. You can cast it later for its foretell cost, which is only 3. So you don't have to wait till turn 5 to cast this. You can cast it on turn 4 by splitting up its cost, or just always having it in the cut. Whenever you need it, the comet shows up. You could foretell at turn 2 and not cast it until turn 7 for 1 red and 2 until you're lined up to Firebend with a huge attack right there, and add 5. So for each one attacking. That, of course, will add a huge amount of red mana. Huge amount of red mana leads to an explosively large Bayo Irritable Instructor right there, so you can combo off with that. We also have a great instant card called the Last Agni Kai. 1 red and 1. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls is dealt damage in excess this way, add that much red mana. We also have the ability of, until the end of turn, you don't lose unspent mana as steps and phases end. So very, very cool stuff. Until the end of turn, you get to keep all that Firebending. So if you go in with a Firebending Student, you pump it with like, you pump it with something like a Wild Ride, like I said. Then you cast Agni Kai, fight somebody, you get to keep all that red mana and cast it later. You can use that to cast a bigger spell if you want to. After combat is over, on your second main phase, you can use all the mana you generated, all the red mana you've generated to cast a spell if you don't have the mana. Which will actually help get Ozai the Phoenix King off. Because on turn 4, you could do Firebending Student, you could hit Wild Ride, boom, generate all that mana going in, cast Agni Kai, keep all that red mana, and as long as you have 2 black mana, you can use all the red for the colorless and the red right there. So boom, that's an easy way to get Phoenix King out earlier, is by using the Last Agni Kai. Very, very cool combos here to keep other stuff on the board. So you're manipulating mana, and that's really, I like how it really makes you feel like a firebender. Like you're just constantly generating this red mana, this fire, this energy, and you're always kind of throwing it around and manipulating it and moving it around. Very, very fun mechanic. I really like the firebending mechanic. So we're really doing some serious firebending there. Here is the big creature. This is our win con. This guy's a win con in and of itself. Ozai, the Phoenix King, 2 red, 2 black, and 2 7/7 human noble. Trample, firebending 4, meaning that when he attacks, he generates 4, and haste. If you would lose red mana, unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. So it doesn't go away, it becomes red. He turns all mana that may be left or unspent into red mana, so again, you don't lose any. Then he has flying and indestructible if you have 6 or more unspent mana. Guess what you can do? Sozin's Comet. If he attacks, he gets 5. If he attacks, he gets 5. With firebending of his own, he gets 4. He would have 9 unspent mana that would never go anywhere. He would be indestructible, flying, trample, and haste for a 7/7 right there. So as soon as you get him out, he can swing in and attack. That's part of the reason that we have the Zombify, because on turn 4, if we can get him out, that's a 7/7 trample. Immediately pumping, okay? we have all of that extra mana going in. We can immediately use the stuff that he pumps with for something like Dreadmaw's Ire. We can cast 2 of those on there and give him trample again, or just pump him up. Even so, as we go on there, if we get him to a 9/9, you could swing in, make him a 7/7. Guess what? Cast Dreadmaw's Ire, make him a 9/9. End of turn, cast Wild Ride on there, make him use the leftover mana, Wild Ride him, make him a 12. Throw him at your opponent with a Cal Sellsword. You already did 9 damage. You can throw 12 damage at them, and that's game. That's a turn 4 win right there. And we know in Standard that a turn 4 win is quite effective. That's kind of where you need to be at with your win cons right there as it goes. So just manipulating all of these different spells to just give yourself a huge amounts of mana, huge amounts of hits to just suddenly and catastrophically come out and just bang, just hit him with a huge power right there. He could be indestructible, flying, all that stuff. 7/7 trample and haste is not easy to deal with. He is a rough card to deal with. So you have a lot of ways to cast him, either through the zombification by bringing him back, or just by generating a ton of stuff and doing the last Agni Kai to save that mana until the end of turn, either generating a lot through Sozin's Comet or Bayo and holding on to that mana and getting him off with last Agni Kai. Whatever you do, you get him out there, you hit him hard, and then you knock him out. That's going to be the idea. Of course, we talked about Wild Ride. That's going to be a +3 pump as a sorcery until the end of turn, and it lets you recast it from the graveyard with Harmonize. Not bad. Zombify we already know about, which is 1 black and 2. Return any creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. How do we get him into the graveyard? Pretty easily. I think if you go with Demand Answers, you additional cast, you sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. We can sacrifice Ozai or anything that we don't need and keep the flow of cards going into our hand. Bitter Triumph is another great way to put him in the graveyard. You just discard him and destroy a creature that they have. Not a bad use of stuff right there. Really do like that one. And Dreadmaw's Ire, I like this one because of the attacking. And also cracks artifacts. 1 red +2/+2 trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact that player controls. Really good stuff. Don't forget Wild Ride is a sorcery. You can't cast it as an instant, so I like it on Firebending Student first. You pump, swing, and then cast Dreadmaw's Ire or Last Agni Kai and save all that mana for later. So that is going to be the combination play. You have aggro low and you have aggro on the ground aggressively with different prowess attacking creatures that just put a huge amount of pressure on your opponent. You have Bayo Irritable Instructor saving all of your mana that is going to explode if anything ever happens to him. You can even kill your own Bayo if you want to with a Bitter Triumph. You can I have put in the sideboard Corrupted Conviction. If you want to run a sacrifice combination off of this one, you can either throw him with Cal Sellsword or run something like Corrupted Conviction and sacrifice Bayo if you have enough red mana. So you have that. You have the prowess on the ground, Bayo holding up everything else with explosions in the sky, and Ozai coming in for the final moves right there. It's an absolute monster of a card swinging in and finishing it off right there. That is the idea behind the Rakdos Fire Nation attacks. You can see a lot of different lines and strategy to play through a lot of your different ways that people do. Really fun stuff. I'm excited to play in early access, and I hope you are excited to watch it as well. Lands are pretty easy. I think you go Starting Town, Raucous Theater, Multiversal Passage, Mountain, and Blazemire Verge. We don't have a lot of good Rakdos double lands. We only have Raucous Theater and Blazemire. That's why I'm throwing in Multiversal and Starting Town. Not bad. Corrupted Conviction I already told you about. Pretty easy stuff right there. That is what we're looking at for 61 card Fire Nation attacks, trying to use firebending as quickly and as aggressively as we possibly can. So that's going to be a fun one for sure. Down here at the bottom, let's take a look. We're mostly red with a little bit of black in there. We're primarily running in at red, so you do want a little bit more balance towards red cards than swamps because that's going to be more handy. We can look at a couple of starting hands here and see how it would play out. I can explain how it would play out for a little bit of like test gameplay right there. That's not a bad one. Average number of lands in opening hand, 2.61. And that'll be that, of course. 16 creatures, 9 sorceries, 13 instants, and that's that, 23 lands altogether. So let's play test it real quick. So we do this. We do Multiversal Passage, start that off, turn that into a red. We do next turn. We do Blazemire Verge. We can do Emberheart Challenger, swing in for 2. Next turn. Next one, we put out Bayo. Next turn. Then we can start generating mana here. We can do Let's see. We could do demand answers. Put something in our graveyard. Let's get rid of the Emberheart Challenger. And we'll draw 2 cards. Boop, boop. There's Phoenix King. Ozai. We'll hold steady. And then turn 4. Last Agni Kai. So this is how you start generating the mana. So we can do something like Bitter Triumph. Play that. Discard Phoenix King to put him in the graveyard. That'll generate 1 red mana. We cast Last Agni Kai again. That'll generate another floating red mana. Okay? So now you have 2 floating red manas. You've played 2 removals. The red manas aren't going anywhere, and if Bayo explodes, it punishes your opponent. Then on turn 5, look at that. We have those floating red mana. We cast Zombify. We bring in Ozai the Phoenix King. We swing in with him. He generates more. He generates 4. We cast Last Agni Kai again to fight somebody out right there. Boom. And then get rid of any blockers and do something like that. And we can even close off with playing a Bitter Triumph on our own Bayo to blow him up at the end. So you can see by turn 5, we have played a fairly aggressive combat right here. Got Ozai out by turn 5 and generated just a shitload of mana, floating mana just available for us that would punish our opponents, all while keeping blockers or aggressive attackers. Turn 5 for getting this guy out on the board and casting that much spells, generating and hitting out people is going to be actually a really, really effective way of just running down a lot of different things. So pretty good. We'll do one more kind of test run right here just to see how we do again. All right, so we'll put down Blazemire Verge. Next turn, we do one of those. Not much there. Why don't we discard and draw some more? We'll get rid of a Wild Ride. Draw. Very nice. Do that. Emberheart Challenger. Swing in. Next turn, Zombify. This is not a great hand here. Next turn. Oof. All right, so you have an options here. You could definitely put down Bayo. You could play removal. Discard that Bayo, and then he's going to generate. Everyone is going to prowess, and you're going to go in. Then finish with an explosive Calicel Sword. That'll play more explosions right there. Another time, you could play Reanimate so that you could bring back Bayo and do it again. And then explode him again. Firebending Student. Boom. Ozai's ready to go. You play a removal pump in. Next one. Dreadmaw's Ire. Play that. Draw another card off the top that you can do. Get that down. Boom, boom. Next turn. Sozin's Comet. We can foretell that. Next turn. Boom. We have 6. We can play Ozai the Phoenix King. And by that time, hopefully, we'll have enough mana. We've done enough damage or put our opponent down enough that we are doing enough damage there. So, again, a lot of different lines. I really like the variety here. You basically have 3 strategies. You know what I mean? You basically have 3 strategies. You have your on-the-ground prowess combination plays right there. You have your Bayo explosion strategies. So that's kind of your on-the-ground prowess piece. You have your Bayo generation explosion, and then you have your Ozai reanimate or recast right there with a lot of other options. So you have a few different ways of winning, and I like decks like that that have the variety of methods to get out and to get the wins, because no plan survives first contact with the enemy. If people are suppressing your creatures, try to generate up and build up to the Ozai Reanimator, hit it. If you're not getting the mana, try to just go ground and pound on the ground. If they're being heavily resistant and they're just blocking everything, try to build up mana. Just go for one big Firebend spell, so you can Firebend like 10 or 20 mana or something like that using Sozin's Comet and blow up Bayo Irritable Instructor. Boom, that way. So you've got a lot of different methods to get through. You have a lot of different methods to get through and do the damage that you need to finish the game right there. So a lot of different play lines. I think it'll be fun and interesting. We're going to run it, modify it as we need it on early access. Don't forget to come by. Chris Chaos brings up a great point. Would we want Luis in this, who is called Morlun, if we had a lot of leftover stuff? Possibly. Yeah, that is an option. Anything that is going to have an X on it, we're going to put it to the sideboard. Anything that has an X on it. So you have something like Moreland Devourer of Spiders. Anything that is X-play that you can combine with Sozin's Comet, a huge amount of firebending, and keeping that mana, you're keeping 5, 10, 15 mana, and 1 black mana to cast Moreland Devourer of Spiders. All of those would be fine. A lot of different win cons, a lot of different mana to sling around, a lot of different things to pull off right there. So really, really interesting. Really interesting lines of play, really interesting new mechanics. I really like it. I'm personally am very excited for Avatar. I hope you are too. I hope you join me in playing some new stuff. We're gonna leave it right there. Tell me what you think. What are you excited about? What is your favorite card to run? Make sure you've got your notifications on. Make sure you subscribed and goods and all that stuff right there, because we're gonna be in early access tomorrow. Don't forget. We'd love to see you there. I'll see you the next time, guys. I've been Jay Villain, and you've been great. Bye-bye. Boom. Scavenger Regent. Yeah, well, that's not really a win con. It does sweep the board. Aaron Crook, don't bring up Stoppelgang. Hey, what's up, Summer? How you doing? How you doing? Should we look at another one? Look at Earthbend. Should we do Boomy? Badger Mole Club is $50 currently. Numbskull, welcome to the show. Tough Blind Bandit. This would be like an ally? Is that what we're thinking? Earthbender Ascension, yeah. Earthbender Ascension. Bossing Say. People love Walls of Bossing Say. I didn't think it's that good of a card. I think it's funny, but we do Bitter Work. I think if we do Landfall with this, it'll be much more effective. I think if we do Landfall with this, it'll be way more effective. We got a lot of 3-drops. We got to change that around. Cracked Earth techniques. Earth and ally. See, that one relies on allies. We have to cast a bunch of other crap for it. That's... You have to pay fucking 6. Or 7, rather, to Earthbend 5, which kind of sucks. Rebellious Captive. Rock-a-lanch. Earthbend X, where X is the number of forests that you have. Hidden Talent. Haru. That's allies. Haru's not bad. I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall here. Earthbending is a little slow, what I'm seeing. There's not a lot of cheap Earthbend. I think if you combine this with Landfall, and you do it with some Landfall, things are going to get fucking crazy. I think, unfortunately, it's just got to work to fuck with Landfall harder. You got to put the classics in. I know it's not the funnest thing in the world to do the classic... but I think you got to do it. The fun thing about... Hey, what's up, Starkiller? How you doing? Yeah, that's the interesting thing. That's the interesting thing. Did you do an Orzhov token with the Fireship? No, I haven't done the Orzhov token Fireship yet. I will, though. I think the thing is when you Earthbend, like, for example, coming out with Haru and attacking... If that creature if the land dies, it just goes back and gets replayed. So that's the interesting thing about it. It just gets replayed, and that will play into Mossberg Hydra, and it'll play into Zaz's Chocobo, because the more lands you throw at people, the more they either have to block them or the lands die, and then everything landfall gets stronger. So there's kind of a weird synergy between that and everything else that we're doing. So, yeah. They, like, have to deal with the fucking... Earth flying at them, or they're gonna get knocked out by all the and dealing with that makes our landfall cards even stronger. So it's kind of a weird synergy that we can kind of throw at people. Legend of Kyoshi. That's too late. Takes too long to get that out. Toph the Blind Bandit. Metal Banding Master. We could put Metal Bending Master in there. Oh no, Earth Bending Master. Oh no, she's not. That's the ally card. We don't have that one. Solid Ground. Rock-a-lanch. X is the number of forest you control. Rock-a-lanch might be interesting in a mono green. Maybe if we get rid of Boomy. Or Bitter Work. That's the only ones that are red, really. We could get rid of Boomy and Bitter Work and go a little bit different on it. Cracked Earth technique. Boomy, King of 3 Trials. A couple ideas that we can do. I have an idea that we can't Firebend out Terror of the Peaks with our float, then Earthbend to ping. That's an interesting concept. Yeah, we could float mana into doing that. It would be hard to Earthbend that much to ping that hard, but it could be an interesting thing to do in Gruul. Let's do this. Mountain. Forest. Let's just add those in right now. Not blue. Why would you want to play blue? It's the lamest. Okay. Creatures you control with 1/1 counters and have trample. Do we have any 4-drops? No, it's Earth King General. Earth King General might not be bad for fucking Mossberg Pump. Boogeyman, 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 boogeyman. Okay, so here's the rough sketch. Here's the rough sketch, guys. We're gonna leave that there. That's the rough out. This is the rough out right here. A lot of Final Fantasy, a lot of Avatar. Buggy man, buggy man, buggy man, buggy man, buggy man. Let's go for Fabled Passage. Buggy man, buggy man. There you go. All right, so that's the rough out. Yes, absolutely earthbending. It goes real well with fucking. Earthbending goes real well with whatever we're doing here. Yeah. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional 1. Interesting. All right, and who wanted that other one? Let's look at Invasion or Phoenix. Phoenix Airship Fleet. Who do we like sacrificing here? We like Sandbender Skiff. Yeah, we like that. We like Sephiroth. Whoop. Sephiroth, naturally. We like, what's that shit called? Greedy Freebooter. Also known as Freedy Freebooter. We also like, do we like the Angel? Yeah, I think we like the Angel. Right? What the hell's that angel's name? Exalted, yeah. Exalted Sunborn. So, the idea would be, if we use Phoenix Airship, Enduring Vitality, that's a good one. Yeah, not a bad one. I'll put a pin in that. If we do Enduring Phoenix Airship, if you sacrificed a permanent this turn, right? We get, you make a copy, right? Create a token that's a copy of this. So, we got to get that in quick. It's a slow card, but I feel like with Freedy Freebooter, we can get in a little faster. Turn 4, turn 5, we do something like Exalted Sunborn, and we sacrifice, and we'll generate 2 copies. Next turn, if we can Sunborn again, we'll generate 6 copies. and that way we almost have, and it's pretty easy to fly. They'll need a crew of 1 to fly them. So yeah, I think something can be done with this. This also reanimates too. Whenever another creature permanent is sacrificed, we get stuff. We get to pump. So we have sacrifice fodder and Phoenix airship. We might be there. Don't forget, that's if you've sacrificed a permanent, that could be a map token, that could be a land. So even if you put like Fabled Passage in this, a map token, a land, a treasure, anything really, you know, it doesn't have to be a creature. It's any permanent you've sacrificed. That'll work. So I think that's interesting to think about. I think you basically, if you're adapting a previously existing deck, you talk about anything that's token, that's going to generate tokens when it dies. So you could even do something like Nesting Bot, or Infestation Sage is a good one. Yeah. Pretty much anything that leaves something behind that you can re-sacrifice later. Fanatical Offering. Yeah. I think you're going to want to go with like a more classic deck and not rely on this as your win con. Because I think relying on this solely as your win con is going to lead to kind of some folly. But I think you go with like a token deck, and the more tokens that you do, what if we did Clarion? Here's the thing. I think we can order our triggers, right? No, we couldn't, because a warp, not Clarion. It's called, it's called, what the fuck is that shit called? Why do I not remember the names of any cards? Voice of Victory. I don't think that works because it says that it has to be at the beginning of your end step, you sacrifice of the next end step. So I don't know if we can order the triggers. If this trigger goes off as it says we do this, the beginning of the end step, this would be the beginning, and then it wouldn't count it in time, I don't think. But we could do it just to get just to make sure that there was stuff going on, and we can always sacrifice it for other means. So Voice of Victory might not be bad, even though the end step trigger doesn't hit it. We still have fodder on the board that we can specifically, you know, we can do the one guy, the one sacrifice outlet guy. What's his name? Bartolome. We could do Bartolome. If we wanted to do Bartolome, we could also do Umbral Zealot. That's a good one. Who kind of fell off. Yeah. So you could pull a few good combos off this, I think. You Infestation Sage. Yeah, okay. So throw an Elspeth in there, why not? You know? You can do some silly stuff. Oh my goodness, it's E-Philly. The Philliest, the chilliest, the #1 killiest. Five away from 6-7. 6-7. It's only 7 away from 6-9. Plains. Swamp. My nieces and nephews are doing the 6-7 thing. I had to explain it to my parents. They're like, we don't get it. I'm like, there's really nothing to get. You're you're not missing something. There's not much to get there to to begin with, guys. I'll tell you that much. You're not missing too much, as it were. I said it's just fucking nonsense. Don't think about it too much. This is a pretty cheap deck. We probably don't need that many. Probably cut that. We add more sacrifice. Boom, boom. I think it is starting to die down because people were losing their mind from that shit. 6-7. I know I need to do that. Get the emote. I don't know how to control myself. I only know how to just do the body. I don't have hand controls. I know there's a way you can map him to your mouse, but I'm too lazy to figure it out. Do. So what do we have that map? Here we go. Yeah, map tokens. Let's do Fanatical Offering. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to work in current meta, but we're going to give it a shot. Hey, what's up, XKCQKC? Welcome. Co? Yeah, there's not a lot of good black... I'll be honest with you, man. There's not a lot of good black cards that came out of this new set. This is not really a black card. This is not a black card set. Can I say that? This is not a set that's gonna feed you real good on black cards. Just isn't. Which is unfortunate, but it is not. It's just not that type of set. It's mostly focused on elemental, so you're gonna get the other ones. Realm of Co is Realm of... Oh yeah, Realm of Co is good. Yeah. Yeah, Realm of Co is solid. I do like token generating creatures right there. Yeah. Heartless Act. That's a good one, but that's a reprint. That's a reprint. Oh, May. I forgot about her. Yeah, May. This is the best one. May, Scornful Striker. XQ, you see that link right there? That's going to take you to my analysis, my full analysis of the set. That video right there that you see pinned at the top, XKCQC. You're going to see my top 10 favorite cards I did with Numbskull. Yeah, May is a fucking monster. Yeah. May Scornful Striker is huge. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life. Punishment, dude. Punishment. Little bat hands pop up. Yeah. Especially on any kind of life gain. Especially, like, you combine that with any kind of life loss additional combination stuff. May really, really... Like, even if you want to kill this, you're going to lose 2 life. Yeah, it's really good. That's probably my favorite one currently. Yeah, I do have to do a mono black May, but there's not that many good mono black cards. Like, this is black, it's not even mono black. Foggy Mountain Visions is complex. I do like Obsessive Pursuit. This isn't the terrible. This is like the new this is like Obsessive Pursuit is like fucking What's that shit called? It's like a weird version of that one they just banned, Profs. So however many things you've sacrificed this turn, somebody gains lifelink and +3 and lifelink. So Obsessive Pursuit's not the worst thing. Raven Eagle, they have a lot of clue token sacrifice combination plays for stuff, and I think we have to do that because there's more clue token things. There's like a really interesting clue token combination play that you can do, like Dimir clue tokens. Joe D. June Bounty Hunter's not bad. That's another Dimir card. But as far as straight up, just up and down, amazing black cards, probably May is the best one. That don't rely on any other color. This is not bad. I think Zoko's Conviction can be a surprise. It's a surprise reanimator. You get to return something from your graveyard to your hand, but also, you also get to maybe do it instantly. That's not the worst thing, but it could be interesting. Secret Tunnel. Secret Tunnel. Hey, what's up, Scum? It's gonna be May. I'll give you drawing 2 more cards this turn. June. The Bounty Hunter. Human Mercenary. Cat Gator. Yeah, there's not too many straight up and down good good black cards. Because, like, even this, Firelord Sozin, it's red on there as well. You know. Boiling Lock Rider, red on there as well. You know. I'm surprised that Numbskull didn't like this. Yeah, I absolutely will, Summer. Summer sent me a crazy one that I think that she may have known right away that I would have almost no interest in. Because you did it in Naya colors. But I appreciate you submitting one. People always be like, Jay, I'm a big fan of your channel. I love your videos. Can you run my deck? And I'll be like, sure, what is it? They're like, it's Teamer Control. And I'm like, see, I'm worried that you aren't watching my videos. I'm worried that you haven't figured out the kind of things that I like yet. Day of Black Sun, I'm surprised you didn't pick that one. Day of Black Sun is pretty good. Simic Ramp. Yeah, man, exactly. Simic Ramp. They'll be like, Azorius Artifacts. Can you show me your version of Azorius Artifacts? I'm like, I'm worried. I'm really worried you're not fucking watching my... you're not watching my videos, man. I'm really worried you're just not watching them. You're telling me you're watching them, but I don't know if you really are. That's the thing. I do kind of see a line here. I like Raven Eagle with Obsessive Pursuit. I think that we do have a couple of options. I would probably want to do this either mono black or Dimir. You have a lot of card draw on mono black. You have to sacrifice a lot, but I think that if you did it with Sephiroth, you'd be okay. If you combined a couple of these, especially with extra card draw, it really it makes me crave what's that shit called? It makes me crave Sheldred whenever I see a card draw black deck. Jay, I love your decks. When can I see your Ugin artifact ramp deck? Ooh, buddy. You're barking up the wrong channel. How you doing, Asmaran? Whoa, Black Betty, Asmaran. Do 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 do. Secret tunnel. 2 target creatures you control that share creature type can't be blocked this turn. Pie Show. Boiling Rock. Foggy Bottom Swamp. Boiling Rock Prison. Airship Engine Room. Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. Secret tunnel. If you earthbend it, it can't be blocked. That's really funny. Which one of your brews? You mean which one of the 5 Naya brews? Which one of the 5 Naya brews you gave me was I most excited about? Or was it the Bant deck? This one with clear Simic cards in it. Was I excited about this this Simic deck? Or was I excited about this Simic deck? I don't think Toph... The thing is, I saw this one, and I think this one is good, but I think just adding 1 white for Toph is pointless. I don't think we need it. I don't know. Here's the 4th iteration. Oh, interesting. I'm using the rabbit shell in RCQ. What advice can you give? Huge fan, by the way. Hey, what's up, Gyrus? Yeah, play aggressively with rabbits. Try to keep people suppressed. You really, really want to suppress people with rabbits. Don't be scared to exile stuff. The rabbits are a very good, very aggressive deck. And say a thank you to Stella Bravo Actual for doing it. Toph. Toph? Here's the Grixis. Choco Comet. Interesting. Burst Lightning. God, she looks so fucking crazy there. Quantum Riddler. Ugh. Tanuki. A lot of crazy shit in here. A lot of wild shit in there. Tough. Thought it was a short O. Toph. Toph. I do want to get an Azula Grixis eventually. This is more of a burn. I like the idea of doing a Azula Spell Slinger. I do like that. I do like the idea of a Azula Spell Slinger. I think that we do need to change some of this, though. Interesting. Summer 123. Follow you, Summer. All right, we have a few ideas here. We definitely have a few ideas. I do think that we are going to leave it, though. Earthband, mono black. All right, so we want to do a mono black. Do we want to do an Azorius Flyers? No one's going to fucking watch it, but Azorius Flyers might be interesting to do. I like Azorius Flyers, just people fucking hate that. They don't like fucking Azorius Flyers. They don't like when I play Azorius. That's the issue. But, like, there's really good flying shit. You could build a really good with Ong. Ong. I've only ever seen the movie, and they always pronounce it Ong, so that's what I'm going to call him. I can change anything from your decks. Thank you. I'm glad I have your permission now. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a 1/1 counter each creature you control. Well, I've never seen the cartoon. Is the cartoon good? I've only ever seen the M. Night Shyamalan movie. Is it? I thought it was really good. You know, Ong and Kotara and Bait used to be believable. Smoking Hornet meme. Picture of Smoking Hornet. Sun Warriors could be interesting in a Boros shell as well. White Lotus Reinforcement. I do like the idea of a Selesnya ally deck. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff. Maybe I can get 5 decks out. 5 hot thick decks. I wouldn't mind getting 5 hot thick decks. That would be really nice, but we'll see. Might have to make the video shorter. Might have to make the videos only 50 minutes. But get 5 decks. Mardu. Mardu Exile. But yeah, there are some good flying cards. On Swift Aang, Swift Savior. Now I'm doing it unironically now. Aang, Swift Savior. Airbend, we have that ability. There's some decent flyers that you can run into, especially Flash. Especially Flash. What is with the obsession of adding blue into everything, Summer? Why must you do it? Just tell me why you have to add blue into everything. What is the reasoning behind that? It doesn't belong in every deck. Okay, can I just say that? It doesn't belong in everything. Boop. Yui the Moon Spirit. Yeah, mono red will be viable without Nemesis. It's not going to be as good, but it will be viable. It will be viable. Secret Tunnel. with the amount of stuff with firebending, the amount of firebending we're getting, like the amount of heavy shit we're getting, like Firebender Ascension, Fated Firepower, Firebending Student, Agni Kai, Zhao the Moonslayer, I don't think that Mono Red will not be fucking viable, man. There's too much good stuff coming out. There's too much Schmeat hitting the board right now for Mono Red to just completely lose its lose all of its fucking because you're ruining a perfectly good Selesnya. That's why. You're ruining a very perfectly good Selesnya with the inclusion of blue. That's what's going on. The price of freedom. Jet. You know, it's really unclear. Solstice Revelations. Unlimited Boros Mice deck, so I think it's what people are trying to pivot to. Possibly. Mice is an old standby. I like these art treatments. Zhao. Zhao really said, man, fuck the moon. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about that moon. What would the moon ever do for us? That's what I'm saying. Brandon Shaw could be interesting. We could do that in a mono red. Meanwhile, Soka said fuck the moon, but in a different way. He meant it differently. I don't hit. What's wrong with Mono Red? Mono Red's a staple. Soka. Yeah, like Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars. I know there's more good flyers here. Appa's a good flying flash. I'm sorry. Appa. Am I not saying it with the right fucking Air Nation inflection? Suki, I do like Suki too. I like that in an ally deck. I wish we had more Suki Kyoshi Warriors, but they put all of Suki's cards in the other shit, man. In the non fucking playable versions, which pissed me off. There's a lot of good. Yeah, they put all the fucking Suki, Kyoshi Captain. They put Jet in there. They put Swordmaster Sokka in there. They put a lot of good shit in the unplayable stuff, which sucks. I wish they would have just made it. Even Momo. We don't have fucking Momo in regular. I don't think we have it in regular. That's Rough Buddy. I can't even play That's Rough Buddy, man. You know? Chris Cass, what did you read it as, Chris Cass? What did you read it as? You know, I'm surprised they didn't do more Blue Spirit. That they didn't give us a Blue Spirit mask that, like, made something into a Phantom or something. Kindly customer. I literally made a Rakdos deck maybe 30 minutes ago, Aaron. There's so much good stuff that we're not getting from the side set. Dude. Yeah, they should have brought these into Alchemy. That would have been really cool. That would have been a really good idea, Anthony Scott. That would have been a really, really cool idea. That would have been fun. But yeah, we're missing so many. I don't have anything against it. I don't like it. It's not fun for me. I don't like playing those colors. Summer, what kind of food don't you like? What's a food that you really don't like? Out of curiosity. Just list one food you don't like. Yeah, the mole beast. I was wondering why they didn't do Nyla, the mole of June. There's so many creatures, there's so many cards that are just not getting. That sucks. That would have been awesome if they put him in Alchemy, man. I should write the fucking thing. Okay, well, whatever it is, I want you to justify to me why you don't like the taste of it. I want you to, I'm gonna say, how come you don't like it? And I want you to justify with evidence, other than you just don't like it. Lying. Okay, how come you don't like lying? And don't say it doesn't taste good. I want you to justify it in a more complex way than that. Okay? It's not enough. It's not enough that you tell me you don't like that you don't like the taste. You need to tell me in more complex ways why you don't want to eat that food. Because I think you're crazy for not eating it. It's really good, and a lot of people like it. You just want it with meat. Well, that really wasn't the question. I wanted a food that you didn't like. Yeah, these are all crazy. These are all, the artwork on these are all nuts. I'm sad we didn't get Fang either. I was hoping we'd get Fang. Such a good card. Turned into a spirit. Yeah, I saw her video. She did a great video. Tiger Dillo. Oh, well, then how come you won't do it then? If you can't think of a specific reason that justify why you don't like things. That's how I feel about Naya. I don't like the flavor of it. What can I tell you? I just don't like it. And going, well, how come? Everyone else likes it. Other people like it. Why don't you like it? What do you have against it? I don't have anything against it. I don't like it. Something about it bothers me. I don't like it. Long Bacon Store. Oh boy, I hope I don't have a long day at the Long Day Factory. Long Bacon Store. Asmaran knows what the Long Bacon Store is. Nobody understood what I was talking about. Simic is objectively bad. I can justify my hatred of Simic. I can objectively, with hard evidence, tell you why Simic is the worst color combination. For example, it is the most banned sharp hamburger. It is the most banned color combination. It is the most broken color combination. Why I don't like Naya, I just don't. Is it that it's too close to Simic? I don't know. Long Bacon Store. I like Grixis. Yeah, I do. I like Grixis. I like Mardu. Triple color. I'm not the triple color king. That's Sways. Or Swayze. He's the triple color king. I'm not Mr. Triple Color. I never have been. I know that people like them, but they just never really turn out quite right for me. Grixis is fine. I like Abzan. Abzan's actually a one that I do enjoy. Long Bacon Store. Yeah, I wish we were getting the Eternal cards. That would have been great. That would have been awesome. Every now and again I do a 3-color, you know. But it's just something about certain color combinations I don't enjoy. They just feel wrong to me. They just don't like them, so. Sharp hamburger. So what? She didn't like the sharp hamburger joke? That joke is flawless. Sharp hamburger.